Good morning. It's still morning, y'all. But good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I think it's still on the other speaker. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna figure it out at some point. Got to figure it out at some point, right? Good morning, y'all. How's everybody doing? It's Thursday. Wonderful Thursday. Thankful Thursday. And I am on. I actually lost my phone, y'all. I was supposed to be on right at 10:30, but you know, sometimes things happen. We get a little caught up. But let's see. Alexa, play Healing Frequencies. See, I gotta tell Alexa. Alexa was already doing her thing, but she started messing up. But good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me introduce who I am. I'm Brittany Wilder. I am a wealth and wellness energy healer, you guys. And I help ambitious women get their energy in alignment so that they can attract the things that they want in their wealth, wellness, and weight loss goals, okay? That is me in a nutshell. I do that in a bunch of different ways. One of the ways being, I do that with hypnotherapy. I do that with sound bowl healing. I do that with timeline therapy. I do it with tons of different spiritual techniques. And I do that with simply being in alignment with God, simply talking to God in the process of your plan, in the process of what you are overcoming, in the process of you letting me know what your goals are, what you want to achieve out of life, and going to God with it. So that is me in a nutshell. Welcome. If this is your first time, shout out to you. Put some purple hearts in the chat so I can know who's new and all the good things. I'm drinking my tea. I drink tea each and every morning, especially when I meditate. I usually meditate before I come on with you guys, right? To just gain focus and listen to whatever the message is that God wants me to share. And then I get on and then I do, some sound bowl healing at the end of this. If you've been on before, at the end, you're going to get a little mini snippet of a sound bowl healing of what I would do with a client who is dealing with whatever the situation is. And for me today, the message has been grieving a dream. That has been the message. That's the one. All week long, we've been talking about relationships though, y'all, because it's Valentine's Day week, right? Ooh, this is really good. A little citrus. We've been talking about Valentine's Day week and love and relationships and all the things that come along with that, right? So that's kind of been our focus this week, because that's just where we're at. That is where we're at. That's what the girlies called on me to do. Put it in my DMs, talk about relationships and love. And so I want to focus in on that. But the message that God gave me today was focusing in on grieving a dream. Grieving a dream. Right? We all have dreams. We all have dreams. We all have inspirations and aspirations and goals and things that we want to achieve, right? I have tons of goals, tons of dreams, and have always had them all my life, right? And so when this one came to me, I was like, oh, we going there, God. Okay. All right. That's what we're doing. How many of you have ever had something that you wanted so very badly? Right? Whether that be the job you wanted, the career you wanted, the relationship you wanted, how many of you guys have, I can say that, right? I've had something that I wanted so very badly, and something that I put my actions towards, working towards, walking towards, getting, you know what I'm saying? Like put myself in the position to receive the thing that I truly wanted, right? How many of you guys have ever been in that space where you actually put yourself, walked all the actions out, did all the things that I was supposed to do, right? And I mean, you were not playing a game. You invested what you needed to invest. You gave the time, you gave the emotion, you gave the love, you gave the care, you gave the, right? Because I know the girlies still want me to talk about relationships. I'm going to throw it in there. But we're talking about grieving a dream today. It's real. It's getting real today, right? And when you've done all the things that you thought you were supposed to do, right? You accomplished all the different mini goals. You worked your way up to get the ambition to do it, right? You worked your way up. You stepped outside of the box. Kudos to you for stepping outside of the box and doing something different, right? Because in your mind, you're like, okay, if I do it this way, it's not going to work out. But if I step outside the box of what I would normally do, and do it this way, well then, hey, maybe it'll work out for me, right? How many of you guys have done that? Right? I definitely have done that many times before. And even though I took the steps, did all the things, worked it out, talked to God about it, was like, God, this is what I want, this is the desires of my heart. And it didn't work out at all the way that I thought it would. There have been times when it didn't work out at all. Sometimes it shifts and it doesn't look exactly the way that I thought it would, right? Kind of like entrepreneurship. Yes. Being a full-time entrepreneur, you guys, does not look like the way that I thought it would look at all. But it's working for me. You know what I'm saying? I literally thought in my mind, you guys, I was like, I'm about to put this book out, right? This is last year, right? When I spoke to God, and God was like, yo, it's time for you to let go of your job. You're no longer able to keep your job and maintain coaching, right? Because I had been doing part-time coaching for so long, right? Helping people heal and deal with whatever their traumas were. I've been doing it for so long, part-time, right? For the last, it was 5 years before I came into this new year of doing it full-time entrepreneurship, right? But I've been doing it for 5 years part-time. And yeah, I help people. And yeah, I change lives and help people gain these tools and techniques so that they can move forward in their lives. But God was like, but now we're in a space where we're going up. So I need you to quit that job and be a full-time entrepreneur and put your book out there, right? Because my book is a tool. My book it's a coaching book, right? It's a life help book, right? Self-help book, right? So put your book out there for people. Bolder, Better, Wilder. If you don't got it, get it. Listen, my life of 15 years of me making the book and finally getting the book out there, but it really includes a lot of my life's challenges and struggles and how I maneuvered, how I had to shift, how I had to move through those things. Get it? It's a great book. I'm not just saying it because I'm the writer. I say it because it's a really good fucking book. I'm a person who I read self-help books, right? That's always been kind of my thing. I have tons of books as I look at one of my bookshelves, one of my many bookshelves in my house. I have tons of books, right? Tons of self-help books, tons of them. I've always read them. I've always been interested in them. And then when I wrote my own, I was like, but I want mine to be like this because I needed this when I read a lot of books that were self-help that weren't really helpful. If you know, I know, there are some books that are being sold right now that ain't gonna help you do nothing. My book is not that book. My book is going to help you figure out things and have helped people figure out things. And I'm grateful for that. But I thought when I wrote my book, I was going to be a millionaire. It was going to happen immediately, right? Because I've held back for so long on this thing that I was nervous about putting out. I was so anxious, right? Because I'm like, God, I'm really throwing people under the bus, but I'm throwing myself under the bus too, but I'm really throwing people under the bus. I changed the names. Yeah, I may have said this. My boyfriend at the time, when I was 19, I may have said things like that, but you know who you are, right? And so there's so much nervousness about putting the real out there and the raw and the unfiltered, right? And so I thought that because I had went past all that fear of putting it out there, that God was going to bless me with millions because I put my misery out there. So why would I not get millions from misery? That's what you told me, God. Right? That's what God told me. God told me that my misery would make me millions. I believe it wholeheartedly. So I thought that I was going to be a millionaire. Right? That was my dream. Because that was just a portion of my misery. Right? That was just a portion. And I told a lot of stories in that book. My book is 299 pages long. Told a lot of different stories. And the craziest part about it, you guys, is I still have so many more stories of misery. So many more stories of trauma. So many more stories of I had to figure it the fuck out. And that book is 299 pages. With stories. Tons and tons of stories. Of life lessons. Of how I made it through. Of how I changed my perspective on this because I had to make it through. Of how I got myself up and out of my sadness and my depression. Right? And that's what happens when we're grieving a dream, right? We thought we were going to be in this relationship with somebody for forever. I even talk about it. My divorce, how it was hard for me to forgive. And that was the first time it was hard for me to forgive. My friends know, people who have done me wrong in the past, men who have done me wrong in the past, I'm like, oh, they just were struggling. They just were, and I can forgive you, right? These different relationships that I had in the past. Took me a little while, but I still was able to forgive, right? My ex-husband, it took me a very long time to forgive him. A very long time. This is the first time it ever took a very long time to forgive, because what you did was you messed up my dream, right? That grief, it was heavy grief, right? Because I thought you were my person. Here I am thinking that you're my person. And anybody who knows me knows that I've always said from the very time of my beginning of dating that I was going to get married, and I was going to get married one time, and I was one and done. I used to say that all the time, you guys. I used to pride myself in that. And then here I am, a divorcee, right? But I used to say it all the time. I'm gonna get married one time, so it's got to be right. I'm not even gonna play with myself. It's got to be right. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna date, and dated for years and years. I dated my ex-husband for 2 years before we got married. And that's always. It's funny how, like, when you start to talk about the reasons why things didn't work out the way that you thought they would, how people are like, oh, it's because you guys didn't date long. I'm like, no, I did all the things right. Oh, it's because you guys didn't do premarital counseling. No, we did it twice, actually. With my counselor and also with the person who married us. Like, we did the things, but that wasn't my dream. To be married was my dream. To be married to my person was my dream. That wasn't my person. Yeah. And that's hard to swallow, right? It's a very hard pill to swallow when you thought somebody was your person and they're not. And it turns out that this is not the best person for you. This is not the person that's going to get you to that next step. It's not. And it sucks. And that's why we're talking about it today. We're talking about grieving the dreams that we had for relationships, the dreams that we had for our lives, the dreams that we had. And knowing that, and I want to be very clear about this, because with grief comes depression and sadness and anger and frustration, right? And sometimes literally a shock. Like when I tell you guys, I really thought I was going to be a millionaire after I put my book out there. I'm not lying. Because I've gotten all these different images, vivid images and visions all my life about being on Oprah's best book list. For real. Like I'm like envisioning myself sitting with Oprah. Yes, Oprah. Oh my God. It was just such a long journey to be here. Like really, like personality and all the above. Like you guys, vivid dreams. Vivid. This was my dream. So when I wasn't a millionaire after the first week of my book selling, I'm like, that's funny. I'm supposed to be a millionaire right now. This isn't the dream I talked about, God. This isn't the one that you dropped in my spirit. Like, where is that dream? Right? Like, where is that one at? Right? Anybody ever had that? Am I talking to anybody real? You done had so many thoughts and images and visions about where you thought you were going to be and where you thought you were going to go. And then you actually do the work to get to that place and it doesn't quite match up with what your dream was, what your goal was. Yeah, that stuff happens all the time. Here's what I want you to be very confident in, right? If it's for you, it's for you. And I know it sucks to hear that, right? I know that's what we've learned through religion or through growing up, but it's the truth. It's the truth. If it's in God's will for your life, it will happen. If it is for you, it is for you. If it is not for you, then all we can do is be thankful. Am I talking to somebody real? All we can do is be thankful that it's no longer in our lives. I don't care how much you wanted it. I don't care how much it felt good to you temporarily. If it was for you, it would be for you. If they were for you, they would be for you. Right? And sometimes we get so stuck to what our dream is for our lives. We get so stuck into what we want our life to manifest out and become. We get so stuck on the way that we want it to happen. We get so stuck to the how. Release the how. God, how is this going to work out? I know you told me this dream and this goal, and I know you dropped this vision in my spirit, but how, God? Release the how. Why? Because miracles happen each and every day. Miracles happen each and every day. What does that mean? That means that God can make something happen in 2 seconds. The vision that he has been putting in your heart, in your spirit, on your soul, on your mind can happen in 2 seconds. 2 minutes, 2 months, right? Can happen quickly. But I know that I got to the point where I stopped doing my own vision and asking God what his vision was for me. Because what was going on, you guys, is these dreams. The grief of a dream, I felt like I was grieving so often. So often. And y'all know when you grieve, what it does to your body. Y'all know, right? Well, if you're constantly sad, you're constantly anxious, depressed, right? Those are high negative emotions in your body, causing you to put out all kinds of hormones, causing you to put out all kinds of different things that your body doesn't do well with long term, right? Our bodies aren't made to have cortisol rolling through it long term like that. Cortisol is for when I am in fear, fight or flight. That's it. When I am in fight or flight. So imagine what happens. That's why, some of us, we have weight issues because we're constantly stressed about our day in and day out. We can't get no peace. We don't have no peace of mind. So when I started leaning into the things that God was doing in my life, leaning in and being like, God, whatever your will is for me, like, let me know so I can get on board. Because what's happening is I'm hitting my head up against a wall over and over and over again with these dreams in this way that I thought was going to come through for me the way that I wanted it to come through. And God, you just simply said, I'll be a millionaire. You didn't tell me how. The message was, your misery will make you millions. It wasn't, okay, you put out your book and now you get millions from it. But isn't that crazy how we interpret things that God gives us in a way that he's like, yo, I didn't say that. I said you gonna be a millionaire. I didn't say how it's gonna happen. Right? I didn't say how it's gonna happen. But you put your own dream on there, and you put your own ideas on there, and you put your own steps and goals. If you're anything like me, I'm definitely a type A personality, and it has helped me in a lot of different ways. When I was in college, when I was in school, when I got my certifications, right? When I was becoming a coach, because it's all about doing the actual work. Anytime, that's why I'm so good with healing, right? Because it's literally goal checking. And that makes sense to my type A personality that, okay, I got to write down, and first I got to figure out what it is I need to heal. Then I write it down and talk about it. Okay, I just found out I have a trigger about this, a trigger of abandonment. Each time people say this to me, this bothers me. It's a list. So I simply go through and check the list. That's why it makes sense to me, right? So my type A personality has helped me in so many different things. It has not helped me when it comes down to God's will for my life. It has not helped me when it comes down to purpose and surrender and leaning in to what God is doing in this season when I'm like, I have no control over it, right? Because if you're a type A personality, hello, my people, I know you're out there. If you're a type A personality, it's all about controlling the next thing. I have my checklist, I have my goals, I can check it off. That has not been well for me when it comes down to being in this season of purpose and mindfulness and calm and chill. So what do you have to do? Right? When we talk about how some of the things that we used to do back in the days have to die in order to move forward into a new, that's what is being talked about. If you've ever heard the scripture, if you've ever heard anything, sometimes the old you has to die. Literally die. What does that mean? I'm no longer using this type A personality each and every day like I used to. No, I'm allowing spirit to guide me now. This is different. I'm allowing God and the alignment that I have with God to lead me. It's no longer Brittany's the type A personality and she gets things done and she's a hard worker and she does this and she's a goal setter and she sets the goal and she checks it off. We're way beyond that now. We're way past that personality. That personality trait got me through times when times were hard. That personality helped me focus in on schooling and all the above when I was homeless in my mama's car. That personality trait, do you understand what I am saying? Sometimes we adapt things, right? We're humans. We adapt things that help us in that season. But in that season is where it needs to stay. I'm talking to somebody. I am talking to somebody. We adapt things in certain seasons that help us survive. We adapt certain things in seasons that help us get through the trauma, that help us focus on something else so that we can make it to the next season. But we have to recognize that the things that we adopted, the things that we learned from the trauma that we received. And there's a lot of things that I've learned from my trauma, you guys, that I've had to lay down dead over and over and over again because it doesn't work in the next season. It's not going to work in order for you to evolve to the person who you were always meant to be. Lay that thing to rest right here, right now, so that you can move on and be better. So that you can move on and become the person who you were meant to be. So that you can move on and go into your purpose. That was mine, right? I had to lay some things rest. One was my marriage. There was no way. Hear me when I say there was no way that being in my marriage and being with who I was in my marriage was going to help me as I evolved into this woman that I am today. There was no way. And what comes along with that is a lot of acceptance. I've accepted that. That's part of the reason why I was able to heal. You understand what I'm saying? See, a lot of times we come out of these marriages, these relationships, and we don't accept the reasons why that marriage wasn't able to continue on. The reasons why that relationship wasn't able to continue on. Well, if I allow you to stay connected to somebody who is not willing to do the work and who wants to stay broken, then you're going to be constantly growing and evolving. And I can only speak to that because I know this is my personal story. If I connect you to somebody who is broken, who doesn't want to do the work with you, Brittany, this was the message from God now. If I connect you to that person and keep you connected to that person, you're going to continue to grow, and you're going to continue to keep looking back and grabbing that person and dragging that person. That person doesn't want to do the work. That person doesn't want to heal. That person doesn't want to evolve and become the best person, the best version of themselves. But you're going to stress yourself out. You're going to, because I know your heart, Britt. God's always like, that's your heart. You have a heart to help others around you that you love. So if I continue to allow you to stay connected to that person that you love, whether it be a friend, a lover, or whoever, you're going to try to look back, grab that person, drag them to where you are, keep dragging, keep getting tired, frustrated, and hate that person ultimately. Because that's what happens. When somebody is constantly giving you the trauma and the you know, constantly having you come up out of your way and utilize your extra energy that you have that's supposed to be overflow, right? But you're constantly utilizing your energy. You can't give that energy to yourself because you're so worried about your person getting to where you are. Hello, somebody. Good morning, y'all. That's where we're at. Grieving a dream, you guys. A lot of the times we're grieving things that God never ever told us was going to be it. We made it up in our minds that this was how it was going to happen, but God never told us how it was going to happen. And so we assumed that it was going to happen this certain way. And so now we're mad and frustrated about it when it doesn't happen the way that I envisioned it in my mind. Because a lot of the times what God has envisioned for you is 10 times better than you could ever envision for yourselves. But we stuck on marrying the damn fool that we loved so much. But we stuck on, who am I talking to? I know. I was the same way. So stuck on being married and just having the title that I didn't think about how my marriage was killing me. Literally killing me, breaking me down each and every day. Taking my energy each and every day. That's why here I am years later, right after the divorce and after the marriage and after being disconnected from someone who was stealing my joy, robbing me of my energy. And I show up with all this big, bright freedom. It's freedom. It's freedom. It's joy. It's bliss. That's what you envision. That's what you feel when you come in contact with me. It's joy. Because I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I'm leaning in to what God has for me. And when you start to do that, man, It's like, how can you not? How can you not feel good about doing something that you love to do each and every day? I get up each and every day and I do what I love to do. I do sound bowl healing each and every day with you guys. I get to talk about tough struggles that I went through, the traumas that I went through, to help somebody else who's in the process, or help somebody else who might see this video later on that's going through it right now. What? That's what I love to do. And if you're in that space where you have lost a dream, right? Because we talk about sound bowl healing and how that helps, right? There are a few different hurts that I want you to think about. A few different hurts, right? I talk about listening to frequencies, how frequencies lift our spirits. They literally lift our spirits and allow us to open up, to be open to the blessings of the world. Allow us to be open to what God has for us. Allows us to be open, allows us to do our healing, allows us to see that, it's really not all that bad. It's really not all that bad. I can kind of, I can see a silver lining, right? But when you're boggled down low by depression and sadness and hurt and pain and all those emotions that are just so low vibrating, it's like, what can you do but besides be sad and depressed and low, right? When you're allowing those emotions to take over you, when you're not willing to release the bitterness, the unforgiveness, the hurt, the pain, the things you went through in your past relationships or your past issues with your job or with your friends or whatever, what have you, right? Because we go through all kinds of situations all the time. So it's time to listen to some things that are going to lift us up, some things that are going to allow us to release the hurt, the pain, the guilt, release the unforgiveness, release the bitterness, right? One of those is going to be 396 hertz. We're going to release the fear, the guilt, the hurt, the pain, right? We're releasing those things. First, you're going to listen to that, okay? Where can you find that at? Listen, anywhere you get your music. You can even YouTube it. Look up 396 hertz, and it'll talk about, letting go of guilt and shame and fear and all the things associated with those negative emotions. And we have to release that stuff in order to be open to receiving the goodness, to receiving the great things, right? We got to release it. Good morning, y'all. Share this with somebody who is suffering from grief of a dream, because it is real. It's real. It's really real. The other thing about, 696 hertz, okay? That's dealing with the heart, right? So opening our heart, allowing our heart to be open, right? Being open to love, being open to what have you, the goodness of the world, right? Feeling like you're worthy of it. Sometimes we don't feel like we're worthy because of what we went through. We don't feel like we're worthy because of what have you. What have you. This thing is really bothering me, y'all. That's why I keep looking at it. I'm sorry. Right? Sometimes we don't feel worthy. Like, Brittany, stay focused. That's the ADHD, y'all. That's the ADHD. I'm sorry. But listen. What I say? 394, 696, right? The other one is 741 hertz, right? That's when we're getting to that higher level, right? When you go up in hertz, you get to the higher level. Just like what you guys know, I talk about my sound bowls, right? So we start with Big Mama, Big Red over here. Big Red, right? And she's low. She's a low, the bigger the bowl, the lower it is, right? The lower the hertz are, right? And as you start to go up, and you go around and you start to get higher, right? Well, the lower bowls are about like our fear and getting rid of our guilt and, getting to a space where we can get rid of those lower vibrational emotions, right? Because when we're operating in fear and guilt and shame and embarrassment and all those things, when we're operating in that, well, we're really low. And things that are happening in our life, the things that we are attracting in our life is really low. We're attracting low vibrational people because we're operating in guilt and shame and fear. So I'm actually fearful. I'm out here dating, but I'm really scared, but I really don't know. So guess what I'm going to attract? Somebody who is low fucking vibrational like you. Just being honest. Y'all, when I learned how to manifest, things started changing for me. When I learned that when manifestation, the things that we think, the things that we feel, the things that we put out there in the world, right? Because it's about what we think, what we feel, our movement, the things that we say. All those things work in alignment for manifestation. Hear me when I say. So what does that mean? You may be saying, oh, I really want to be in love. You may say that in your mouth. But what's going on in here is, but I'm scared though, because that last relationship, it really hurt my feelings and I don't even know, and da-da-da-da-da. Right? You got all that gunk in there from that last relationship, and you can't stop talking about your last relationship, but you say, I really want love. It has to be in alignment. What does that mean? I really want love. Love is the desire of, it's the dream. It's one of the dreams of my life, to be loved well, to be loved correctly, effectively, to be loved down like I've loved down so many people in my life, right? That's a desire of my heart. That is one of my dreams, to be loved. Well, guess what? Speak it, think it, release whatever it is that's going on in your soul space, that's your unconscious mind. Whatever it is going on in your soul space, release whatever it is that's keeping you from getting that love and attracting that love, whether it be the fear, the guilt, the shame, the worry, the anxiety from my last relationships, the ones that didn't work out, because each and every time I just choose wrong, right? People say that all the time to me. And I'm like, what? You are self-sabotaging your thoughts to even move forward to attract love by saying that. Stop saying stuff like that. Okay? Believe me, if you want to manifest love, you want to manifest your dream person, stop saying that shit. That is going to make you not manifest it. It's everything in alignment. Everything in alignment. Speak the things. And I just got done saying the other day, you guys. I go out and I attract tons of men. Not really dating right now. I'm just kind of hanging out, seeing where life takes me. But I go out and attract tons of amazing men. Amazing men. Because I speak it over myself. I've been preparing to date, right? May not be dating, but I've been preparing my heart, my mind, and my soul. What does that mean? I've been working on my heart, been healing the different things, finding triggers that I got from my marriage that ended, dealing with the things as I move forward, getting them out of my way so that they're not going to be the reason why I self-sabotage my next relationship. Right? Not taking things personal that happened. That's a big one. Ooh, thank you, God. Not taking things personal that happened in that past relationship, because a lot of the things that people have done to you in your relationship that broke your heart and broke you down and made you feel like you were nothing has nothing to do with you. Shit. It has nothing to do with you. It has a lot less to do with you and a lot more to do with what they got going on. So hear me when I say, but you're allowing what that person put on you, how that person treated you, what that person said to you, make you feel insecure about who you are when it has nothing to do with you. You're amazing, you're beautiful, you're talented, you're special. And anybody that's ever said something to you that was not that is not right. And it has more to do with them than it ever had to do with you. Ever. Y'all, grieving a dream. Whether that be your dream of love, whether that be your dream of marriage, right? Because I told you guys I was grieving my marriage. I struggled. But that was my dream. I always wanted to be married with kids. Isn't that crazy? That's it. That was my only dream for being an adult at one point. Was like, I just want to get married and I want kids. And so I started looking for marriage and kids and marriage and kids and marriage and kids. And it wasn't about purpose. It wasn't about that at the time. I knew I was great, right? I always had this feeling that I was supposed to do something bigger than that. But I just didn't have the confidence. Because I dealt with so much trauma and so much hurt and so much pain. And when you deal with those things and you don't really process, you don't really go through and talk about what happened and how it made you feel and why it made you feel, right? Because I've gone through some things and I've been an overcomer of the things. But just because you're an overcomer doesn't mean that you've healed. Who the fuck am I talking to today? Just because you have made it out of a situation doesn't mean that you've healed that situation. And so you think that because you've made it out, of course you're strong. You made it out of the situation. Of course you're strong. You made it out of the trauma. But have you dealt with all of the ramifications of that situation? Have you dealt with what that situation did to your self-confidence, to your heart, to your mindset? Y'all, to your mindset. You guys, I put up a post today and it came straight from God. And I sat down and I wrote down all the things that I've overcome or what I've overcame. Tough things. Everything from child molestation all the way up to divorce. And everything in between. Date rape and just terrible things. All of my trauma that I have collected. And I sat there and I looked at that post. And I just thanked God. Because the normal person, average Joe, who has been through what I have been through in one lifetime, should not even be able to utilize their mind the way that I utilize my mind. Should not even be able to walk out into this world the way that I walk out into this world. And I thank God for having the courage and the boldness to say, God, I'm deserving of more. I'm deserving of more. This situation doesn't define who I am. I am not going to let the ramifications of this trauma, this hurt, that pain stop me from being who you made me to be. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am not going to stop. I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care what I have to go through to get there. I am not going to stop. And somebody here needs to know that what you have gone through does not define you. And it does not mean that that is what you will continue to go through. You have to trust that it will get better, and it will. But you got to make it up in your mind to trust in your mindset, in your mouth, the things that you say out of your mouth, in your emotions, the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you feel about your future. If you feel continuously that you're going to continue to deal with fools and date people that don't care about you and get manipulated and done wrong, well, guess what? You can almost bet 9 times out of 10 you're going to attract somebody that manipulates you and hurts you and does you wrong. But if you start to say, I feel like I'm deserving of good love, of somebody who truly loves me down. I'm deserving of being a wife, a husband to somebody who is an amazing person. I am deserving. You have to feel it. You have to believe it. You have to speak it. And even when things try to get you away from feeling that way, from thinking that way, right? Because of course the enemy doesn't want us to be happy. So when we start to make things up in our minds, guess what happens? Turmoil. Struggle, frustration, all kinds of situations. But guess what? In the middle of that, I want you to say, nah, this isn't it. Nah, this is they just trying to keep me off of my goal. Nope. I deserve. And if you got to keep saying that, if you got to keep saying that in the midst of your situation, then you got to keep saying, I deserve. No, I'm deserving. I'm deserving of more than this. No, my life is supposed to be more than this. No. I don't agree with what's going on right now in my life. This is not my life. Who am I talking to? Oh, thank you, God. This is not my life. I am deserving of more. There is more for me on the other side of this. There is more for me. It is abundantly made. My life. I am meant to live with riches, oh God. I am meant to live a life of wealth and of good health and of happiness and of joy. And sometimes you're the only one that believes that. And you got to speak it. We're not grieving these dreams, y'all. Because a lot of the times the dreams that we have for us are the lowest dreams. They're the bare minimum. And God is like, this is all you want? You dreaming for a house and God is like, but I got a mansion over here waiting for you. You dreaming just for a husband and God is like, I got your perfect soulmate. What? A husband? That's bare minimum. I have your romantic best friend. I have the best person you've ever met in your life. And sometimes the things that we went through in our past, the past relationships, the past drama, the past trauma, keep us dreaming low. Okay, God, I just want a good relationship. Okay, I just want a house. I just want a good paying job. God's like, I want you to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. You talking about a little job. You're dreaming about a little job, and I want you to have all the franchises, but you're talking about a little job. So no, I'm not going to let that little dream happen. No, I'm not going to let you just meet your husband. No, I'm going to save you for your romantic partner, the best man you've ever had in your life. So no, I'm not going to let it work out with Joe Schmo, who hits you up every Thursday at 5:30 when he gets off, because he know his wife ain't looking at his phone. No! I'm sorry, y'all know. Listen, I done sat up here and boo cried. I done sat up here and told y'all the truth from my end, because I know it's real. And I know somebody's going through it. And I want you to know that you don't have to go through that thing alone. I done already been through it for us, right? But I wrote my post, you guys, today because a lot of the things that we go through cause us not to manifest the things that we truly want, right? And there's this, what I want you to know is if you are manifesting things in your life, it's because God wants them to happen. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you. It's because God wants it to happen, right? There are things I have manifested that God was like, that's what you want here. There you go. Then there are other things that God is like, no, because you're dreaming too small, Brittany. Because I have a bigger vision for you. You're dreaming too small. You thinking that your millions are going to come from working the 9 to 5, and baby, I have a bigger plan for you. What do you, listen. Somebody on this live, God has a bigger plan for you. You're dreaming way too small. You should start thinking about things bigger. And if you don't know how to do that yet, just invite God in. God, show me. Show me what you got for me. Show me the purpose. Show me the visions. Show me what's going to be in divine alignment for what it is and where I'm going. Show me. And allow your will to be done for my life, because God's will is perfect for our lives. It's perfect. It's the most perfect thing. And I think it took me a long time to get to that point, you guys, because I wanted to do it Brittany's way. Because I'm so intelligent, so smart, and am, right? It's like, I know what's best for me. What? I know what's best for me at all times. So I'm going to go and get what's best for me. And God's like, but you think you know, but you don't. And that's why I'm not going to let that prosper. And that's why I'm not going to let that happen. And that's why I can't let this work out. Because guess what? That is not what's best for you. And in God's perfect will, what is best for you will work out easily, effortlessly. It'll just flow. You'll feel the peace. Yeah, I just put up a post today. I teach peace. I teach peace. Because what have I done? I have gained peace over every single situation that I've gone through. And I've been through a lot. Been through a lot. But there is peace on the other side of each and every one of the situations that I've been through. Now you got to do some work. You got to heal. You got to journal some things. You got to meditate. You got to come to Manifesting Sister Circle on February 22nd in Atlanta. Okay? Listen, when I say cheat code, I am giving you the cheat code. I'm giving you the things that took me years and years of turmoil, of hurt, of pain to figure out. I'm giving it to you in 3 hours. Some things that it took me years of bumping my head up against the wall over and over again. Took me years. Over and over again, I'm giving you the cheat code of how you can manifest the things you truly want out of life. How you can manifest it. How you can get in alignment to receive the things that you really want. A lot of times we're speaking about what we really want, but our hearts aren't in alignment. Our mind's not in alignment. Our soul space isn't in alignment. So we're wondering why we're not getting it. But I said it, God. Yeah, you said it. You spoke it. But are you believing it? But are you open to receiving it? Or are you letting your trauma from your past, your abandonment issues, your issues with your mommy and your daddy, stopping you from receiving? I don't know. But that's what my course is about. That's what my workshop is about. February 22nd, if you're in Atlanta, even if you're not in Atlanta, if you want to fly in, February 22nd, 3 hours. And I promise you will learn how to manifest the things that you truly want. I promise you will figure out what it is that I got to do a little bit of work on in order to get what I truly want. I promise you. Come on. Sign up, registration. I think we have 4 spots left. 4 spots left. I just had somebody else sign up last night. 4 spots left. Get your spot. Get in this class. Learn the things that took me years to figure out. That took me years to be in a space where I let go of my job. And I'm like, listen, entrepreneurship is it. It's where I'm supposed to be. Operating in my gifts that God gave me. Y'all know I'm about to do a sound bowl healing session. Right now you'll hear the hertz of 396 hertz. We're listening to release the fear, to release the guilt, and be prepared to receive. Right? I'm going to get over here. I'm going to play probably the root chakra starting out, dealing with our fear. Y'all know I love to play Big C, Big Mom. Okay, I play her. Release some fear, release some guilt, release some shame, right? Because there's a lot of, when we're dealing with grieving a dream, there's a lot of fear and guilt and shame and things that come up with that, right? The dreams of what we thought love was going to look like, the dreams of what we thought our career was going to look like, the dreams of what we thought our money was going to look like, the dreams of what we thought our friendships were going to look like. Whatever that dream is, we're grieving it and we're letting it go. We're letting it go, and we're going to ask God, and we're going to be open to the things because he knows what's best for us. He wants us to be happy, right? God, universe, higher power, whatever you call it. I call him God, right? That's what I grew up with. A little bit of my religion still implanted in me, right? That's me though. Whatever it is you call, wants to be in alignment with your highest bliss, your highest happiness, your highest energy, your highest, right? Wants you to be your happiest self, always. So if something is happening right now currently in your life, it's because it's working for your highest, your best, your greatest evolution ever, your greatest life ever, your greatest job ever, your greatest love ever, your greatest, you name it, your greatest. Whatever is happening right now for you is helping you evolve into your greatest self, your best. And I know it's hard because, right, we deal with a lot of shit. Life be lifing. I know y'all. I can attest. Try when you actually start operating in your purpose. That's when life really be lifing. You think life is lifing now. Baby, get into your purpose and be confident in it. You'll be like, what is this? God, am I on the right path? And it's like, yes, you are my child. Actually, you're on the best path for you. This is the best way, right? But yes, I'm going to play these sound bowl healing for you guys. You guys already know I give you guys the warnings. I've helped a lot of people with severe health issues when it comes down to sound bowl healing. But if you have severe health issues dealing with your heart, metal in your body, you have seizures, that sort of thing, I would always say contact your primary care doctor, right? Do that before you go on the journey of sound bowl healing. I do sound bowl healing one-on-ones. Book consultations. I have free consultations this month. I don't know if I told you guys that. Book a consultation with me and we'll talk about a plan for you when it comes down to sound bowl healing or hypnotherapy or timeline therapy or whatever services I have to offer, which is a lot in my toolbox, you guys. I have all kinds of certifications. For real. We're going to get to it if you want to work with me. So go ahead and book me. That's in my bio as well. Yeah, I'm going to play and I'm going to let you guys go for the day. So if you are on here and you are here for just the mini sound bowl healing, which is usually 5-7 minutes, give you just a little taste of what it would look like working with me one-on-one, go ahead and relax your body, relax your mind, okay? Relax your body, relax your mind. We're going to do a few bowls that are going to help us release that grief that we're carrying. release that grief, release that hurt, that pain, and then also be open to our highest selves. So you're going to hear some of the higher bowls today, because that focuses us in on higher power, our alignment with the connection of God and what he wants for us, what he has for us. That helps us put us in place of manifestation, right? The higher hurts, right? That 797, that 888, those higher hurts that we hear from those higher bowls are what put us in the space to be open to receive, put us in the space to be open and in connection with higher power and what it is that God has for us, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, start playing. If you're on, go ahead and take some deep breaths. Y'all know how it goes. Things that may come up for you. You may see vivid dreams. You may have vivid visions. You may see lots of color. Usually when I go over there, especially, I know if I did a few sound bowl healing on like wealth and money, financial ones for some clients, and I automatically start to see green when I close my eyes. Like, so it gets vivid depending on what it is that you guys are working on, what it is that we are working on together as I start to play the sound bowls for you. So you may see, you know, repressed memories may come up, repressed emotions may come up. That's okay. A lot of the times that comes up for me, repressed emotions will come up. It doesn't take much to make me cry. Y'all done seen earlier, but sometimes I cry, sometimes it just depends on what it is, right? So yeah, that stuff is all natural. It's all part of the process when you are doing a sound bowl healing session. So I'm going to go play and we'll get to it. Okay. And if you're on and doing this sound bowl healing session with me, I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. Take another deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. All right, take another deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. Out your mouth. Another deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. Out your mouth. And one last one. In through your nose. Hold it. And out your mouth. Thank you, God. Hey, y'all. TikTok is doing its famous thing. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for sharing your energy. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, your love. I appreciate you guys. I'm a mess, y'all. I knew this topic was gonna be emotional for me, just because I've dealt with it so many different ways. If I can be honest, I'm dealing with it right now, right? Just grieving a dream of what I thought it was supposed to look like, and it wasn't, right? So I can be really honest about that right now. Y'all know I'm real, raw, and unfiltered, and can speak about the things that I go through, and that's why my purpose is so big and so beautiful to me. It's because I can just be real. I can be myself. And I don't feel judgment. I don't feel ashamed. I don't feel guilt. I don't feel fear of being me. I love it. And I love you guys. And I appreciate you guys for being here. And I'm going to be on tomorrow for Valentine's Day, giving out nothing but love. Okay, y'all? I'll talk to you guys soon. Love, love, love you guys.